All right, welcome everyone. Hey, thanks for coming by. I'm glad you're here. This is Watercolor in 5, and I know a lot of times I go over 5 minutes, but the main thrust of this video is let's get some interesting information to look at and to cover in just a quick 5-10 minute format. If you're a watercolor artist, or if you're just an artist and you do you do oil paintings, acrylic, you draw, you do ink drawings, pencil drawings, pastels. It doesn't really matter. Most of the things I will cover on this Watercolor in 5 are going to be related to watercolors. However, I will cover other things that do actually cross over into other mediums. So maybe it's a good thing just to check out this channel if you do other artwork, but you might have some interesting things you can learn here. I'm trying to bring a lot of information just on a quick 5-10 minute format again. And this is a newer channel. My channel, Chris Petri, which is simply my name, ChrisPetri. That's my main channel. It's been on YouTube for like 4 or 5 years now, and I have hundreds of videos there on my channel, and I do a new video every week. And there we cover watercolor paintings from A to Z, start to finish, all the steps, all the processes. We create a painting a week, and we go over how you create a painting from start to finish, drawing, layout, drawings, and then painting it, and so forth. So that's another channel you can check out for your, to consider for watching on a weekly basis to gain more information if you're a watercolor artist. Hey, let's take a look now. We're going to just cover on this one here. This video is the Filbert brush. Now I have this is a 1-inch squirrel hair Filbert brush. This is by Rosemary & Company, watercolor brush company. Or actually a brush company. They make all styles of watercolor brushes and so forth, and brushes in general. And they also have other watercolor artists' tools and supplies as well. And here we have the Filbert brush. It's a very versatile brush. There are quite a few professional watercolor artists that do use this brush as their main brush that they use, to create all their watercolor paintings. And this is just a great versatile all-around brush. This is similar to a round brush or a square brush. So if you're a watercolor artist and you say, what brush is going to be my main brush I use? This can equally be as effective and successful at creating watercolor paintings as you would have with a watercolor brush, a round watercolor brush like this, which you see me use on my regular channel all the time. Or even still, we have flat brush. The flat brushes are used. A lot of watercolor artists use those. I just created a video about the flat brush just last week. So if you're new here to Watercolor in 5, you can go back into the archives in the on my YouTube channel at Watercolor in 5, and you'll see how I cover a square brush and how I use that for different effects and different paintings. And you can use this just as much as your mainstay for your watercolor brush as a watercolor artist. So these 3 brushes are pretty much, I would say, the 3 most popular brushes you'll see watercolor artists use in watercolor at a professional level, as well as amateur level too. Okay, so let's continue on here. We have the Filbert brush. Let's zoom out a little bit. So again, the Filbert brush, excellent brush, and this one's the Series 41 from Rosemary & Company. That's online. You can go online, search Rosemary & Company. She has incredible selections of brushes on her site. This is the 1-inch Series 41 Pure Squirrel Filbert brush for watercolor. And we'll see some of the versatile ways we can use this watercolor brush, and you'll be amazed. Let's take a look. All right, so let's say the first most common thing, I'm just using regular fresh clean water here. I have a tissue to blot up some water on my brush occasionally. Let's go right in. Let's get a blue color, cerulean blue and French ultramarine blue. you can create a wonderful sky in just a few brush strokes with this brush. That's how incredibly well this performs. This holds a lot of water and paint. And as you can see here, I've just put down a large section of blue sky color. And you can charge in some darker paint at the top. A little bit of cerulean blue. And maybe a little incredible. You can make a beautiful, exciting sky in just a few brush strokes. Covers a lot of ground with this brush here. We cover a lot of paper. If you're working quick in watercolor, a lot of times we do work fast in watercolors, but not all the time. You can change your technique around, of course. And we'll talk about that in future episodes, how you can change your technique to actually create different effects and different styles of painting. This here's, you can see I could easily do a sky on a large size painting within minutes and get a really beautiful effect like this. Okay, let's try a little something different. Let's go with some green and some brown, burnt umber, sap green, a little bit of olive green, a little bit of burnt sienna, a little more green, sap green. And there we just actually created a beautiful section of bushes, like a gorgeous hedgerow of bushes here with this brush within just a quick few brush strokes. Simple. You have a great point on a brush like this, the Filbert. Excellent point. Holds a lot of water and paint. You can cover a lot of territory with this quickly. And you can see I've just done a gorgeous hedgerow here and some bushes. Now we can actually turn this into a square brush. Can you believe it? You can take your Filbert, pick up some paint, maybe we'll make a stone wall. We take our Filbert brush, we dry it off a little bit on a tissue, and we just take our hand and we make a square point on it like that. And we can accomplish a square, like a beautiful stone wall, just like that. Just by fanning out the brush a little bit, creating a square edge on the front. Perfect, look at that. Okay, now we can also just have fun. We can just do some large washes with some exciting color. Let's go in. Let's do some cadmium red, alizarin crimson, a little bit of purple, mineral violet, a little bit of orange, a little bit of red. And look at how, wow. Look how much area we can cover with this brush. Amazing, look at that. That could be a beautiful sky, a sunset sky, just like that. A little bit of blue. The upper atmosphere, darker. Then we'll get some cadmium yellow. Across there. And there you have a gorgeous sunset sky in just seconds with this brush. Okay, everyone, this is a great brush. Again, we're covering brushes the last few episodes here on Watercolor 5. I hope you enjoyed this. I hope you can see how incredibly well this performs. This Rosemary 1-inch Filbert brush is incredibly versatile as a watercolor artist. You know, I would say you definitely want to have these in your arsenal of brushes in your studio. All right, we'll see you on the next video. Bye-bye.